Hey everybody, it's BenInBeta, and today I am installing my bed stiffeners from Adventure Mohr. So you can see their logo here in the corner. I've already installed one just to make sure I know how it goes, but I was able to keep my Charnovia Designs billet tie down in here. It doesn't work quite as smoothly as it did before, but I was able to keep it in there. This bolt was the most tricky, and we'll talk about that in a second. And it was only tricky because my bed has a liner in it. If your bed doesn't have a liner, this is gonna go in like 5 minutes. So the way this all goes in is you have two screws up here at the top, and there are spacers with those, one a little bit bigger than the other one, because you're gonna end up with a little bit of space between here and where this bar goes across. You got those. If you want to drill into your bed for extra support, you can do that if you want. Adventure Mohr does include screws, nuts, and washers for that, but if you're not gonna do that, you won't need those. I'm not gonna drill in here. That's one of the reasons why I chose this. I wanted a no drill option. Cool things about this one, obviously it is no drill, that's the big thing. It goes in nice and easy with the factory bolts, no problem. And it's got some extra tie down spots on it too, so you can tie down things in your bed a little bit more effectively potentially, which is nice. So this side's in, we're gonna do this side next. The first thing I need to do is get rid of all of the bed liner off of the bolt. I already did that for this one, but it is a little bit of a process, so we're gonna do that first. I'm just using a knife that I have. You could use a utility knife for this, probably would work better honestly, but this is what I have right now. And you just kind of work around that to get it all off. This is gonna take you the most time out of anything. The other things you're gonna need a Torx 55, T55 for this. This is a T30, so you're gonna need one of those as well. And then for this bolt right here, this is a number 10 metric. And then to put in the new bolts here, this one is a HP04. All right, so I'll get started on this. Most likely this is gonna be something that I speed up, but I just tried to cut through this stuff in a couple of sections to start being able to peel it back. And that did help quite a bit. And you do kind of have to get it all the way out from inside as well, but that can happen at the end. Once you can kind of get underneath this, you can start chipping away at it a little bit. There we go. Starting to be able to see the end of it there. Part of the reason why I like the knife is you can kind of get underneath this and pry it up, which is nice. Once you get it going, it's not too bad. And as of right now, this bolt's probably gonna turn, but I also wanna try to cut around this washer if I can. It'll definitely start pulling up though as you untighten the bolt. All right, let's see if it'll start coming loose here for me. There we go. You can see it's starting to lift that out for me, which is what I want. And now I can kind of cut around that a little bit better and separate it from the liner. Now, in this specific truck, the bed liner is composite, so I'm not really worried about it rusting or anything like that. In other trucks, maybe that would be a concern. It's up to you, but I'm not worried about it at all. Like I said, this was the most difficult part. All right. Then we're gonna need a T30 to get this billet tie down out. We're gonna move up to this set here. This is that number 10. And when you put these back in, you can put Loctite in too if you want, if you prefer that. And these are gonna replace with what comes with the Adventure Mohr stiffeners. So a couple things in order for this to work. The way this fits is the longer parts go forward and your mountain logo is facing out basically. All right folks, so we got pretty far in the installation of these bed stiffeners. And you can skip this part if you want to see the final installation. You can do that. I will leave a chapter at the bottom for the finishing off. But I want to say a couple things. So firstly, these are stainless steel bed stiffeners. So if you're wondering why they're not coated, it's because they're stainless steel. Now they are offered in a powder coated version if you want to purchase that for a little extra money, but these are stainless steel, so they really don't need to be coated and they're just kind of ready to go, but you can get them in a powder coated version. So what comes next is important because stainless steel is very, very tough, and you'll see why that became a problem for me in just a minute. So what happened was with the originals, the slats were cut in this direction here. and the bend of this wasn't quite right, so I couldn't get it to fit exactly where I needed it to fit. It needed to go kind of back or forward a little bit, and I don't have tools to bend this. So they weren't bent quite perfectly, and that's why I couldn't install the one on the passenger side. What's cool is I've been working with Adventure Mohr. So after I stopped that video, I sent them some messages and sent them some videos on what was happening. And they went back to their pair and they looked around and said, ooh, you're right. Maybe we need to make a little bit of a change there. So what they did was they redesigned these based upon that feedback. So now you'll be able to put this in wherever you need without a problem. And even if the angle is wrong, you're still going to be able to get these attached. So that's a big deal to me. It should make it very, very simple to put these in now. And so they redesigned them to make them work, which is awesome. They want to make sure that these parts work the way they're supposed to. They installed perfectly on their 24 Tacoma when they put them on. They don't have that vehicle anymore, so I'm their next tester basically for those parts. And I was able to give them some good feedback on this to make it a little bit easier to install. And the big thing is, I think a lot of people who are like me, I don't have all the tools to bend the metal. And if I had, I would have been able to change that angle a little bit. And basically in the manufacturing process, just a little bit of a change in this angle can vary whether or not these are going to fit properly. By changing the way these worked, I should be able to put these in without a problem this time. All right, so these were my original ones. And you can kind of see, again, these have the east-west configuration, and the new ones are north, south, up and down. And that's going to make all the difference in installing these. Now, one of the kind of cool part about this, not only do I have my original pair, but I have a second pair that they sent me that are of the original configuration, so the east-west ones. And they decided they wanted to do a giveaway with those. So I am going to have a link in the description where you can go and sign up with just an email address. And after I reach 1,500 subscribers, I'm at a little over 1,400 subscribers right now. When I get to 1,500, I'm going to choose 2 people who have signed up on that list to get a set of these. Now, just keep in mind, you may have to make the bend in here to make them fit on your 24 Tacoma. That's something you might have to do, but they will be free, and that will include all the hardware that you need as well. So we'll be sending 2 pairs of these to 2 lucky winners who have signed up. So once I get to 1,500 subscribers, I will do that drawing, and I may or may not mention the names of those people depending on what they want, but I'll at least let you know what state they came from. We'll keep it nice and simple. I've never done a giveaway before, but that's how we're gonna do it. And so rather than a date, it's gonna be once my channel reaches 1,500 subscribers. So to celebrate 1,500 subscribers, we'll give away 2 pairs of the original design. All right, so we're basically back at the same spot as we were before, ready to install, but this is gonna line up a lot better. I can already see that. We're good there now. That's awesome. All right, next, I'm gonna need to get this bolt in here. So what I'm doing right now is making sure that while these are in, these bolts are gonna be in alignment for me to put those in. So I'm gonna tighten all this up at the end, I think. I'm gonna put these bolts in next with their spacers. So there should be a long and a short spacer. I believe this is a longer one. So this bolt here, the ones that comes with it, these are HOP4. It's going into the hole. And the bigger one here as well. That's going into its hole. And you can see, because we made that adjustment here with the vertical notches, Patrick and Micah did a nice job on that. We're now gonna get these in here the way they should be in there, nice and tight. And now, because those are good, I'm gonna go ahead and finish these bolts off and tighten them up. Again, the big advantage of this system, as I'm putting this in here, is you can decide to go ahead and drill into the side here if you want and put some more bolts in. That's totally up to you. You can take this off and mark your spots and go ahead and drill into there if you want. I didn't want to do that, and that's why I really like the Adventure Mohr stiffeners. It just makes it way easier. All right, they're nice and good. So this should stiffen that side of the bed up. Let's go ahead and do this side now. And I can already tell this is in a good spot from where we were last time. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this bolt in just for placement. And let's put in this billet tie down here quick. Okay, pretty good spot. And let's get these last 2 done with the spacers. Okay, the back one first here. And the front one. All right, so those are done. And then we just need to tighten the last couple bolts up here. Okay, that one's in there good. And then we'll just make sure that this is nice and tight. All right, still able to use my tie downs. And those are nice and tight too. But that is what it looks like when they're all installed on both sides. And again, I think making that change up here, big deal. This went in so much easier, both on this side and then obviously on that side. Now again, for the giveaway, remember, these are gonna be the original design and these may go in perfectly or they may need a little bit of bending. So make sure if you sign up that you have the tooling to be able to do that. All right, it's all installed. I really would be interested in what you think of these. I think they turned out quite good. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you have installed some bed stiffeners, let me know which ones you installed. But if you have questions, also add those in the comments so that myself, Micah, Patrick, whoever can get to them and answer those questions. I will also have links to these in the description for you to pick up your own pair. And the coolest part is they're no drill and they really worked out some of those kinks. Patrick and Micah have been a pleasure to work with thus far. I'm really super excited about this partnership so far. If you found this video all helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. We want to get to those 1,500 subscribers so I can give away those 2 pairs of bed stiffeners. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, live your life in beta, and we'll see you next time.